Welcome everyone to the Young Professional African Collective, also known as YPAC. I'm your host, Eberichi Obwaku. Welcome back to a great episode. You are tuned in for something so special. We have an amazing guest with us today. I want you to stick around because there are going to be a lot of different guests that are part of an amazing program, and we're starting it off with someone amazing. So, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
I'm so happy that the simple conversation we had has finally led to this great
Yes,
podcast.
yes.
It's amazing to be part of this work you're doing. Thank you for having me. So I'm Yetunde Abioye. Some people will say Abioye. So I'm Yoruba by tribe and I'm from Nigeria. I'm one of the fellows for the 2025 Mandela Washington Fellowship happening here in Wayne State University on the public management track.
Awesome. So let's do an icebreaker first.
Okay.
We're going to start with music. I think music is such like a central thing that so many people love. So if you go back in time, let's say like 2000s, I feel like 2010s, I feel like are great, was a great area for a lot of different music.
Yeah.
So if you can think of like an Afrobeats or, Afrobeats or African music in general.
Yeah.
Is there a song that comes to mind?
There's quite a couple. So let me start with the global one, Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Beat it,
Okay.
Don't you wanna beat it? So that one was, quite a lot. Like inspired a lot of us, And of course, there's also, Fela's song where we talk about, in his songs generally, he spoke about, a lot of struggles for, because that was the era of the military rule in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
So a lot of that. But I'm trying to look for some very nice continental one as well, like the Sarafina.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was also, this movie from South Africa talking about the apartheid and everything. And we had this freedom.
Yes.
Yeah. Tomorrow. So Sarafina, that was a very good one.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's quite a lot. And all the cowbell, milk adverts, all those kind of commercials that we have, there's this other Papa Jasco.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one too. Papa Jasco was a TV series that we watched, growing up as well. So yeah, just trying to give you a bit of although my parents didn't play a lot of music, but we watched TV a lot of TV programs, Tom and Jerry, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Papa Jasco was that one that we always have to tune in.
Yeah.
To watch. Yeah, it's. I'm not that old.
I know when people start saying things like, "Oh, am I dating myself?" You know what?
Yeah.
Those are great. Those are great times in media.
Awesome. Yeah, really. So it's been a journey, and I'm happy to be in Detroit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit, because you're in Detroit. You're from Nigeria.
Yeah.
You're part of the Mandela Washington Fellowship. Tell me a little bit about the fellowship. What made you decide to apply? What made you, decide like this was the next step in your career, from the career point that you were at?
Yeah.
So you can take us back to Nigeria.
Okay. So I'm a veterinary doctor by training.
Okay.
Anybody out there?
Any other vets?
Yes. So I'm very proud. That's my background. And I remember in 2016, in February specifically, when we were having, taking our oaths for graduation, we had this, the National Veterinary Medical Association president then, who was from Plateau State, address us. And he was like, oh, I took a lot of notes that day. I don't know where that note is, by the way, but I think writing also helped me to remember a lot about it. He was like, you're graduating at the very best time. Of course, jobs were not really readily available, but there was a lot of talks around private enterprise, entrepreneurship, which I studied in school, as well as part of, the things, because that the moment you are graduating, you don't have a lot of graduates, and there were not a lot of veterinary startups or jobs to absorb the number of graduates that are coming. Though we are not enough for the need for the country, right?
Right.
A country of 220 million, and then we have millions of animals, especially, we eat a lot of meat, eggs, we have a growing population. Definitely. So basically food is very important. And he said a lot, and for me, I'd always wanted to, as much as I was looking outward for the great world ahead, like what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to work in a space that was not just only about veterinary medicine.
Okay.
So in 500 level or even before, we had already been talking about One Health, which is like, a concept that is not new, right?
Okay.
It's been existing for thousands of years, even before it was named One Health. Like in Africa, we call it Ubuntu, which is I
Okay.
am because you are. Of course, not just about humans,
Yeah.
but humans, animals, and the environment. That balance, we as Africans have always embodied it. We love nature, we love our animals, and then, of course, we love people, right? So that was for me like a sweet spot whereby I can get to work with politicians, I can work with
Yeah.
religious leaders, I can work with, as many people, sociologists,
For
anthropologists,
sure.
zoologists,
Yeah.
teachers,
Yeah.
right? I could work with great kids, right? Very young leaders, secondary school, primary school,
All of it.
yeah, like everything. And for me, that was just a fascinating thing. So at the point, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to be in One Health.
Okay.
So I was posted to serve in Mubi in Adamawa State, which is in the northeastern part of Nigeria, a very rural area. Like I wanted to actually work like on a very big farm, somehow, anyways, I found myself there.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I was also born in Adamawa State, in a very beautiful city, Numan. So I was born there, but I didn't, at least my early childhood, maybe 1 to 3 years. But of course, I don't remember what happened then. So I think it was God just taking me back there. And I was there at the largest international cattle market. I also did a personal community development project that earned me a state and presidential award.
Amazing.
So from there, it was all about, we kind of, what I did with the project was I renovated the zonal veterinary clinic and also tried to see how I could incorporate, things around public health. I went to the abattoir as well, but I spent most of my time in the clinic and on the governor's farm where I was serving, which was just at the outskirts of the city. So I was a couple liaison officer, and that's kind of sparked in me that because I didn't know what I wanted to, like I said. So I was like, okay, I think this is what I really want to do. I still want to let everybody know that I'm a vet, but I just want to also know that our role is way bigger. Like if you look at the veterinary oath is huge, you have things about animal welfare, of course, then you talk about even what we do to for public health and all of that. So I know it's quite huge, and I was so happy to have spent 6 years studying that in UNN. But I kind of just knew, that there was something more for me out there. So from there, I did a toxicology internship program where I met a mentor who was looking at me and I was like, you know what, you could be a toxicologist and still be in One Health. You could be a biochemist and still be in One Health. Like everyone is welcome. You could be in public health or specialize in public health, veterinary public health, and still be in public in One Health. Sorry, so which is where you have the intersection of human, animal, environmental health.
Very interesting.
So I kind of just knew that that's what I wanted. But how I was gonna get there, I don't know. But he was like, you know what? Whatever program you decide to go for your master's or PhD, you'll be fine. So I got my master's in public health in Anglia Ruskin University in Chelmsford in the UK, and then I came back.
Okay.
Just before the COVID-19 pandemic.
Now, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you talked about pivoting from focusing solely on animals.
Yes.
To now this idea of One Health.
Yes.
Which incorporates interactions between humans, animals, and not only just surviving and trying to figure out like how things can work together, but it's really thriving in these areas and really having and promoting an idea of how we can have something that really goes beyond just it's a dog on the street, it's a cat over here. It's like how do we like create an ecosystem that we all can be a part of. So have you always been a fan of animals? Like did you have animals growing up?
I didn't want to go there, but thank you for asking.
Yeah. Let's get the background story.
I think I've just been very fortunate. So I think at every point in my life, like even when I was born, I look at pictures of my mom back there when we were in Yola town in Adamawa State. So I was born in Numan in Adamawa State, but then my parents also like were in Yola. So Yola is like the capital of the city where I went to serve in Mubi. So we had goats.
Yeah.
And when I was also with my grandparents, we also had like goats, chickens. of course, like proper African
Yeah.
setting. And then from the time I could remember, my mom kept chickens. We had dogs.
Oh
We had
wow.
local dogs. We
Mhm.
had Caucasians. We had
Mhm.
Alsatians. So she was
Very
also
cool.
into the business of, keeping grooming dogs and also selling the puppies.
Wow. Okay.
Um, then I'm just trying. We had all sorts,
Very
rabbits.
cool.
We had like we kind of I was exposed to
Mm.
guinea fowls, so we had
Mhm.
them like just at different points in time.
Mhm.
And we also had a farm where we also
Wow.
had potatoes.
Mhm.
And initial time when my dad also had built our house, then we had like a lot of trees, fruit pear.
Mhm.
We had pawpaw. We had
Oh
strawberry.
wow.
Like these were
I
not
love
really
that.
common, yeah, but
Yeah.
like for us back then, it was unlike now where you see we go and buy fruit.
Mhm.
Then it was you don't
This
even
this
see,
is
yeah, people
in your
sell it,
home.
but you don't. Everyone grew.
Right.
I had trees, like you
Mhm.
grew these things, so we plant corn, tomatoes, pepper, especially the potatoes, because just where really grew up, is a place
Mm.
that is known for potatoes. So
Okay.
Irish potatoes, I don't know what it's called here, but we call them Irish potatoes. We
Mhm.
have all sorts, anyways.
Mhm.
But that city is well known for potatoes, and we
Mhm.
export them a lot. So yeah, these were some of the things that kind of helped me kind of to want to be a vet. And
Definitely.
I also remember when the vets come around, their white lab coats.
Okay.
And yeah,
Looking official.
yeah.
Yes.
So
I love
yeah, I
it.
was exposed to these things. I grew up around animals. There was also like a very fun thing that my mom does. So I went to boarding house for secondary school. I was
Okay.
there for 6 years
Mhm.
in a military school. And a lot of times when I'm coming back on holiday, my mom will buy chicks.
Okay.
So how do I say this? So then I kind of from like day old, right?
Okay, like
And
itty bitty
yes,
little
just
chicks.
yeah,
Okay.
like day
Oh.
old chicks, like
Mhm.
the eggs shell just cracked, like they
Okay.
were hatched
Mhm.
basically. And then I kind of trained them during that time when I'm on holiday for like 2 3 weeks. And then she's always collecting, like they are the ones that broilers, the ones that are for meat, and
Mhm.
then we also have the layers, the ones for eggs.
Yes.
So she always, because for layers, like you have to, after a while, you call them. You can keep them for up to
Mm.
2 years, but most times people want to call them around that December, Christmas time, so people can sell them as old
Right.
layers, for people for festivities. Basically, there's going to
Absolutely.
be a lot of partying,
Mhm.
eating, celebration. There's Christmas, there's New Year. So yeah, around that time. But she always timed it around, my holiday period so that I can help her to do that. And
I love that.
yeah,
So she also supported
yes, she
your
did. She
idea
did.
and interest in animals as
Yes,
well. Okay,
yes, yes. I
great.
think there's no one in my family who cannot have a poultry farm.
Okay.
And fishes, I forgot fishes.
Oh
My dad
wow.
also had like a fish pond, and
Amazing.
my mom, of course, was also part of this. So,
I love
so I
that.
was exposed to all of them.
Yes.
Yeah, even before going to vet
Yes.
school.
Okay. So from very early on, you had experiences and exposure to many different types of animals, had a love for that. Now when you went to university,
Mhm.
then you studied animal
Yes,
studies, veterinary
veterinary medicine for
medicine,
6 years.
and then you did your year of service
Yes.
back home.
Hmm.
So you got to go full
It's a
circle.
compulsory.
Yep.
It's like giving back. Of course, what I was paid during service is
Mhm.
not what I will be paid when I'm working full time. But
Mhm.
there is just that kind of. It's a compulsory national youth service,
Mhm.
which helps to breed. It was established by General Gowon
Mhm.
during his time as a military president
Mhm.
or general. Then in charge of the armed forces, and also during that period. So there was a lot of division because we also had the civil war in Nigeria,
For sure.
which still brings back a lot of memories. Where there was a lot of, the one part of the country was
Mhm.
unfairly, greatly affected, and even till today, even in our politics, you could still see that play out. And
Definitely.
I hope in the forthcoming elections, that we have a president, or at least we try to do some kind of justice to what the injustice that has been done in that region.
Mhm.
So yeah, we and I schooled in UNN, by the way, so
Okay.
University of Nigeria, Nsukka. So I'm a great
Okay, Suka.
lioness.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Represent.
I'm a product of that area
Mhm.
as well. So I met a fellow lion here, and it was really,
Oh,
yeah.
amazing.
So kind of even the warrior thing in Wayne State, it's like,
Absolutely.
there's
It's
kind of,
still the
it's been
thing.
amazing, yeah. So it's been
Mm-hmm.
a journey. So yeah, we are hoping that that continues, but the program itself is under a lot of threats at the moment. But
Okay.
for me, I'm very happy that I didn't have to, because I had a choice, right? Because I was in a place that was security compromised,
Okay.
basically, for my national youth service.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I had the option of moving to better places like Abuja or
Okay.
Lagos or any other place, or back home, basically,
Mm-hmm.
just. But I'm happy I stayed back to give back. So yeah, it's a compulsory national youth service which we do for people who are not above 30 years.
Okay.
And you see the opportunities whereby a lot of rural schools or government schools, like I would say now, that have been abandoned for a while, get to these teachers or these the core members kind of are posted there to help,
Mm-hmm.
and that keeps, at least gives some form of hope, because you have children who might not have had a very good quality education.
Yeah.
And then you have people like me, because I was able to do a personal community development project. Some people also help to build toilets, renovate schools, buy
Right.
chairs, buy books, and some have gone, giving back in that way. So it's
Amazing.
really a huge opportunity, and it's a blessing. I really hope the program continues, but a lot of things are actually keeping it. It's kind of, why do we have to do this when
Yeah.
sometimes people are affected by this, unfortunately? But yeah, it's a very good initiative, I must say. It has helped. There are people who came to Adamawa State, where I serve,
Mm-hmm.
as core members, establish hospitals,
Yeah.
very thriving
Amazing.
businesses,
Mm-hmm.
schools, like, just name it. They're all over the place, like
Yeah.
core
Okay.
members. When you come as a someone under 30, you have so much energy, so much
Yeah.
passion, and there's that love for country, as well. And then you want to give back. It's easy. The people in that area might not see the challenges, but you can see, and you can probably use your network or the power of social
Yeah.
media
Mm-hmm.
to be able to raise money. Like the money I got were donations from people. I didn't have that much
Amazing.
money to
Yeah.
renovate the veterinary
Get the
clinic.
community involved.
Yes,
Yeah.
the community as well offered paint
Yeah.
paint
Oh wow.
the clinic,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then, so it was donations
Okay.
from the community. And I also had people who supported, cleaning up sand, like from a construction
Mm-hmm.
company. And yeah, looking back, I'm so proud of
Oh, that's
myself.
amazing.
Yeah, it's actually good memories going down
Yes.
memory lane.
So since we're still on memory lane, what drove you then from, being in the position you were at to now go and find something like the Nelson Washington Fellowship?
Yes. So Mandela Washington Fellow. I think I've been a widow for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like, so I kind of have a veterinary doctor, Dr. Shedrack Apim. Shout out to you, by the way, who is a veterinary doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of the 2023 Mandela Washington Fellows. So I saw how
Amazing.
he shared his stories. I was on a WhatsApp channel, or I'm still there, by the way. I'm also a mentor on that platform, a veterinary mentoring
Awesome.
platform, where he shared his story and inspired a lot of us to apply that year for 2024. And then, luckily for me, I also had another fellow from 2023 as well, who was also, funny enough, also, this person also came to Wayne State
Oh
University.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
2023. Emeka, shout out to you, by
Okay.
the way. Thank you so much for helping me through my journey. So he also was a fellow from that same cohort in
Oh
2023.
wow. Okay.
And both of them, their stories that they shared inspired me. And I got, talking with Emeka, that I would like to apply for this. Then we were working
Yeah.
together in the same office at the Nigeria CDC. And he said, well, you already have the profile, and I think you should apply. So
Mm-hmm.
both of them were actually very helpful. I did that. So my first application was in 2023
Mm-hmm.
for the 2024 course. And then I missed my interview email, unfortunately.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not
Okay.
something to laugh about, but I
Okay.
think maybe it was just God's timing.
Yeah.
Perhaps that time was not just the best. So I missed my interview email, which came in November, for me to actually fill a form and all of that. And it was only when people were being called for interviews, they reached out to me. I was like, how far? Like, then I went and checked my email, and I saw
And
an
is
email
there
from
okay?
Mandela. Yeah, so for me, then I kind of then had to pay attention, because the timelines are very specific. So
Okay.
when you apply, you go to bed,
Okay.
and then afterwards, you know when you start getting when emails are expected. So
Mm-hmm.
November, I kept on checking. Of course, I knew it was going to be the end of November, but come on,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
want to miss it again.
Right.
So I applied again in
Yes.
2024 for
Okay.
2025. So by November, I know I was expecting ending of
Something
November. I
to
kept
come
on
up.
checking
Mm-hmm.
my email, like I'm not gonna lose this anymore. So
Yeah.
and then luckily this time around, we didn't have to fill a form. They just told us you have an interview, this, that, confirmed, blah blah blah. And I did immediately,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so I had my interview in January, oh, in December rather, and then afterwards I went to bed,
Yes.
praying, of course,
Mm-hmm.
hopeful, and then by March,
That's when you got the good news.
yes,
Congratulations to be a
you.
part of something like this. So it's
Yes.
6 weeks. You're in Wayne State. There's other people who are with you at Wayne State, but there are also other people in other states,
Yeah.
institutions around the country.
Yes.
So what is it about this program so far? I think this is a few weeks into it.
Yeah, so this is the end of the 4th week.
So where's some of the things that you have learned? I know you all have a project that you're working on. Like, what is your project, and how have these several weeks that you've been here helped move you towards that end project?
Okay, so I'll just go back a bit. So for me, like I think the enthusiasm I used to apply for in 2024 was not as much as for 2025.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure if I was going to get it. So when I got it, I was like, oh my God, this is really happening.
Yeah.
I think the reality did not really set in until I got into the US.
Okay. So you landed here,
Yeah,
and then
I
you
was like,
saw.
okay, I need to think myself, like,
Yeah,
this is really
you're
real.
here.
And yeah, so it's a great honor and pleasure to be a part of this. And for me, I think in the very first week that we came on a Saturday like this, we had a family dinner, and that's for me because I was even while we were having like we had because the institute had organized for previous fellows to kind of tell us their stories, how it was. And that was how I found that Emeka went to my colleague who I used to work with, went to Wayne State University, and I reached out to him like he was like, you know what, Wayne State University is one of the best places.
Beautiful.
I'm like, okay, thank you. So I had an open mind, and then when we went for the family dinner, and the warm welcome I felt, even till now we still speak to them. Laura and Gavi, shout out to you.
Awesome.
And it was like, oh my God, okay, this is actually happening. I think mentally that helped me to, okay, this is home as well. Like I know I'm away from home, but this is home.
Second home, third home.
So all experiences honestly have been fantastic.
Good.
It's been beyond my expectations, even though I know I said I was just an open book, but it's been beyond my expectations. And for me, generally, it's beyond the, I don't think it's something that can be explained. Right? I'll try, but it's best experience, and it's something that's going to be with me for a very long time.
Absolutely.
So from things that I would have never thought about to things that, in fact, I've met people who know more about Nigeria than me.
Okay.
So it's like a challenge. Like I need to, make sure I go back and explore more.
Yeah. I love that.
We have academic sessions. We have community service. We have networking sessions. So quite a lot I'm taking back. But the key thing for me that's also stuck out was that politics is very local.
Yeah.
Politics is very, very local. So as much as we have a goal, we want to achieve a bigger goal, you need to start at a very where you are, right? And then build it up to there, from there, right? And sometimes, which I unfortunately had experience of this, I was supposed to, I had a document I was working on, I was so passionate about.
Yeah.
And I'd set a date for the 18th of December last year for it to be launched, and it got cancelled.
Okay.
So some of the discussions we've had in class, of course, I'm learning a lot from my fellows. Does that make any sense?
It works.
Yeah.
fellows, yeah.
Yeah. So and the professors, everyone has really been amazing. Basically, I don't think there's any class we've gone into that we haven't learned it. No matter how boring it might seem, or unrelated to what I do, right? So
There's
it's been
something
amazing.
there.
Yes, there is something there. So for me, like it's just been like, okay, so if I had, now I could see, looking at it back, right, to that time, I could see the person who stopped that, just one person. And the person was not the most senior person in the organization. But then that's now made me to understand that this politics is very local,
Absolutely.
right? And I need to make sure that I look at the weakest. Even the, don't I shouldn't have overlook anybody.
Yeah.
Like even if I had, because
Very
I had the
interesting.
ministers buying,
Okay.
I had the ministers
Yeah.
buying, and then it was stopped.
Yeah.
So what would I say
Yeah.
about that? Like I felt the most difficult was the number one person,
Yeah.
and even after having the endorsement of the number one person, it didn't work. So for me, like politics is very local.
Mhm.
I'm also taking back that I need to network more, like intentionally.
Mhm.
Some might be paid, but there are also a lot of free events in my city.
Okay.
So I need to explore.
Mhm.
I need to be in spaces. There was also one I remember we went to Tech Town.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and one of the speakers there who was sharing her story mentioned names. So sometimes people listen to you more when they know that you have a network connection with
Okay.
them, or you know Aliko Dangote, for example,
Yeah.
you know Chimamanda
Yeah.
Adichie.
Mhm.
So now I'm just going to share something with you.
Mhm.
So the very first week,
Yeah.
okay, so not the very first week, so like maybe about the second or third week after I posted my congratulatory, you know, my nomination to participate on LinkedIn. One, there was someone I've been trying to reach out to for a very long time.
Okay.
I send messages like every month,
Yeah.
or as I feel, to check up on them. And they reached out to me and were like, "Oh, congratulations!"
Amazing.
So that's just to show you the power of what the Mandela Washington Fellowship can do.
Yeah.
And then another one as well, someone that you know on a normal day would not really speak to me, would only speak to me in a certain way. The person is now like, "Oh, when are you available to talk? How can we support this?" And
Okay.
yeah,
So once they saw that you were moving towards something or had the support of a fellowship like this.
yeah, like now I'm part of the 1%.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so we had over 58,000 applications.
Wow.
And only 620 were selected.
Wow.
From
That's
over
a huge
49
deal.
countries.
Wow.
And in Nigeria, we had over 8,000 applications.
I'm sure.
And only 54 were selected. So
Wow.
1%.
Like literally 1%.
1%.
Congratulations
I'm just rounding
again.
that up anyways.
Yeah,
it's less than, but yeah, 1%.
But still.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So now with everything that you're like wanting to do, like I know you say you want to take things back.
Yes.
You want to still have an idea of making sure like things are locally, like you know, you have impact there. Is something that you want to take back still related to the idea of oneness with animals and humans, and how does that still come into play?
Yes, it is. So my focus project is on it's funny, but still on that document. So
Okay.
the launch of the 5 year
Yeah, so
strategic
tell me
plan
more about
for
the.
Lassa fever.
Can you say the title again?
Okay, so it's
The launch.
yes, the launch of the National Lassa fever strategic plan
Okay.
for Nigeria. So it's a 5 year strategic plan.
Okay.
And in a way, I didn't start with that for my focus project.
Oh, interesting.
But then my focus project coach told me that the goal, or what I put as my goal, is actually supposed to be the outcome. So in Nigeria, we have this goal where of the 5 year strategy where we want a less than 10% case fatality rate. So meaning that the number of people that die from the infection should be less than 10%. Currently, we have it under 20%, or we say about 20%, but we need it to be lower and even set a new target when nobody dies from that disease.
Yes.
So then I went back to that because I'm so passionate about it anyways.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I also lead the One Health Coordination Unit.
Oh.
I'm not the head of the division, but I lead the coordination, One Health Coordination Unit.
What does that fall under? Like, is that under a ministry?
Yes.
Okay.
So the minister, right? So we have the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. Okay. And then under that, I'm working with an agency, which is the Nigerian Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Okay. And then after that, so I'm in a department. I'm now in the Department of Surveillance and Epidemiology. And then under that, sorry.
Yeah, keep going.
Then under that,
let's get it.
I'm in the division of One Health. Okay. And then I lead the One Health Coordination Unit. So that's like a primary role. I'm employed currently as a senior veterinary officer. Okay. But then I also have an additional role. Okay. So I am the lead, or depending on the time of the year, incident manager of the National Lassa Fever Technical Working Group.
Interesting.
So that's my baby for now.
Okay.
But I do other things. So I
Yeah.
work around other things like rabies,
Okay.
zoonotic diseases generally,
Mhm.
antimicrobial resistance, which I also did a bit of that. My first employment when I moved to the city before getting this appointment with the government. I was working as a project assistant on the very first Fleming Fund grant
Okay.
as a project assistant to the project director.
Okay.
So
Lots
that's
of great
basically
experiences.
yes, yes.
And it seems like
Thank
they're
you.
all building on one another. Like everything like
It's
ties in.
connected.
Everything is connected to what you're doing and what you're going to continue to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's the very first experience I had working.
Hmm.
The other were just volunteer experiences and maybe on my own as well,
Yeah.
consulting. So I had
Hmm.
that, and then I started working with the Nigerian Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And by the end of July, it'll be 4 years. By the way, I can't believe it's
Oh,
4 years.
wow. Okay,
I
congrats.
can't
Listen,
believe it.
has it flown
I
by? You
survived.
survived.
So yeah, so senior veterinary officer. That's my role, and then I have these additions. Oh, basically like leading the One Health coordination unit, and then now also it's a very very huge task
Yeah.
because I hardly get breaks.
Okay.
Because Lassa fever is a disease that is endemic all year round. It's a
Hmm.
viral hemorrhagic fever.
Okay.
It's a very stable zoonotic disease. So it's a disease that is transmitted. Major implicators of this are the common African rats. So we call them
Oh.
multi-mammate rat. They have a lot
Okay.
of breasts,
Hmm.
but any rats could be implicated as well.
Hmm.
So the rats transmit usually around the dry seasons to humans,
Oh,
and then
interesting.
humans become infected. And of
Okay.
course, we could also infect or kind of continue that chain of transmission between humans and humans, or even humans to animals. The animals don't
Okay.
they carry these infections and they don't show any signs. But then when it comes over to
Oh,
us as humans, then we become sick and all of
right.
that. So yeah, it's a huge one,
Hmm.
and I rarely get breaks because we
Hmm.
have cases all year
I'm
round,
sure.
and unfortunately, people also die from this.
Yeah. Are you
So
treating people or with the position you're in, or do you do more of, I guess, the research behind how to then properly like execute care for people?
so all
All of it. Okay.
all because
Yeah.
as the lead of the National Lassa Fever Technical Working Group, we have 10 pillars.
Okay.
So I have a deputy,
Hmm.
and then I have 10 pillar leads.
Okay.
So we have coordination, surveillance. I don't know if this is interesting to people
Let's keep
though.
going. Yeah, we'll
Okay,
see.
so there's food safety, there's
Hmm.
environment, there's research.
Hmm.
We have laboratory, we have risk communication and community engagement. We have infection prevention and control. We have case management. So, anyways, the IPC and safe burial are there. We also have food safety and agriculture are together. So anyways, I don't know if I have missed out on any surveillance, of course. We have that as well, and then logistics pillar.
Yeah.
So across these 10 pillars, we have pillar leads, and then we have members who also support. Every week, we have our situation reports on the Nigeria Centers for Disease Control and Prevention website. I could share a link, but I mean, it's not an important disease for for
I think it's
the
so
US.
interesting. People might know. So I'll
Yeah.
include that link in there for
Okay,
sure.
great. So I'll be
Hmm.
happy to share that. We update
Please.
this every week. I have a
Interesting.
very huge team that works on this, and shout out to all of you, by the way. You guys are the real
Awesome.
MVPs. So yeah, they make me look pretty
Yeah.
and
We
like
love a
I'm
good
not.
team.
Yeah, like I
Absolutely.
don't sweat
Yes. So your
because of
team
them.
members, how do they distribute work? Like what are they
Yes,
doing in
so
there?
basically, I kind of more liaise more with the coordination pillar,
Okay.
but the deputy is in charge of that pillar.
Hmm.
And of course, we have other pillars as well. So we do quite a lot. But currently now, what I'm driving towards is sustainability.
Mm.
I'm so happy and proud to say this.
Okay.
But since the technical working group was established in 2017,
Hmm.
it's been women led.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
so we
We
had
love
Mrs.
it.
Elsie Laurie,
Hmm.
we had Mrs. Choma, Dan 1-4. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, she's married now. I don't know her son, I've
Yeah.
forgotten. Sorry, apologies for Mrs. Choma. We have Mrs. Sandra Imba, she's also a medical doctor.
Hmm.
And then myself, my humble self, of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
a
I love
veterinary
that.
doctor.
So yeah, and I
So
think that's really important because like you're bringing in the fact that a lot of diseases, a lot of things don't start from just humans. It can
yes,
be transmitted from animals or to animals or between animals,
yes,
and
yeah,
animals are always going to be there. So it's
yes,
like, how do we now navigate this space,
absolutely.
stay healthy, prevent, as much as we can, but then on the back end, if there needs to be treatment, that's also available.
Yes. So there is well, the former DG of NCDC, Dr. Ifedayo Adetifam, sometimes he says these things and he's like, it's possible that, I mean, our population has grown tremendously.
For sure.
Like compared to our brothers in the south, like South
Mm-hmm.
Africa,
Mm-hmm.
Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
our population in West
Nigerian
Africa
just
is like,
continues to
ugh,
rise.
yes.
Yes.
So for the most populous country in Africa, of course, we have a lot of landmass as well, but we have largely encroached into
Mm-hmm.
our forest areas. And
Yeah.
I mean, bushmeat is a huge thing. People
Mm-hmm.
still love to, go hunting and all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
from time to time, you have people coming in contact with like animals like bats, right? And
Oh.
these animals are very important for the
Yeah.
ecosystem. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, unfortunately, some of them come down with rabies.
Yeah.
So rabies is also one of those zoonotic diseases, which is also a
Mm-hmm.
very huge concern in Nigeria at the moment.
Oh wow.
I think we've had over 20 states reported this
Okay.
year so far.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the statistics at the back
Mm-hmm.
of my hands, but that's also something I'm very passionate about, and so many other things as well. So some of the ways where we could be able to ensure that we prevent these zoonotic diseases. Hunters,
Mm-hmm.
need to make sure they properly protect themselves, right?
Okay.
We also have to ensure that we are properly vaccinated. Yellow fever is one
Yeah.
of those zoonotic diseases that is highly vaccine preventable.
Mm-hmm.
Rabies is also highly vaccine preventable. I mean, a hunter could be there as early in the morning
Mm-hmm.
to or late, right, and could get bitten by an animal.
Right.
They should take their pre-exposure
Yeah.
anti-rabies vaccines. Then for people that also have domestic dogs, I know we have dogs in the wild, but and
Mm-hmm.
stray dogs as well, which is a huge problem. But then, like for dogs, we also preach responsible dog ownership. Please get
Mm.
your dogs vaccinated, checked up routinely
Mm-hmm.
as they should.
Right.
It's very, very important that they
Right.
get that shot. Even though most times, we have this huge campaign around the World Rabies Day, which is the 28th of September every year.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but unfortunately, people still don't turn up for this free vaccination. You think that free
Wow.
vaccination should be a huge drive,
Mm-hmm.
but you still see that some people don't still turn up for this. So,
What's their? Do you know the hesitancy for people to
yeah, so
show?
there is also, yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, for my animal welfare people,
Mm-hmm.
basically, there are people who consume dogs.
Okay.
Yes. So for them, some people also, it's a myth. They feel like if this
Mm.
dog is vaccinated, the meat is not going to taste so good.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's just a rumor, a myth, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, so that's a huge thing. And then yeah, basically around that, but so it's just going to take a bit of, so what we'll need to do is to employ the process of using the human-centered design. So for
Mm.
example, like, I don't know if this happens here in the US, but for us, like, sometimes you have pedestrian bridges. People basically would not use them.
Okay.
Like, literally use them running on the highway. Meanwhile, there's
Interesting.
a pedestrian bridge.
Okay.
So perhaps if the government had done a survey, involved the people, they
Mm-hmm.
might have preferred an underground, right?
Okay.
Because maybe the stress of trying to climb the bridge for people,
Oh.
like, also, issues around for the elderly, like
Mm-hmm.
people that are able differently as well.
Yeah.
It's a
If
huge
they
thing.
can't
So
climb and
someone like that cannot
there's
climb.
yeah
It's
the
not fit for
bridge.
them.
Yeah.
So maybe we would have had, other ways. Of course, some people might say crime and all of that, but there will be
Mm-hmm.
ways to control these things
Yeah.
as well. So these are things that were not factored, or
Okay.
find a way to it will still be like flat,
Mm-hmm.
but then you have the road upwards rather than flat, and
Yeah.
then you have a pedestrian bridge, which people that have issues with joints and knee or hip
Yes.
problem would not want
They're
to
just
use
gonna
that.
walk across.
They would
Yeah.
prefer that.
Mm-hmm.
So human-centered design basically will have to engage these wildlife experts, hunters,
Mm.
involve people in the community, because I think for like Lassa fever, rats are everywhere, and of course you can prevent them once your house is properly built. But especially in rural areas or places where they have poor waste management, you can still engage with them using the human-centered design to find out with them, co-create with them, collaborate with their leaders, and see how you could dispel some of these myths and try to correct it. But I think that a lot of people might not relate to that because we have endemic areas. But rabies is one that we love dogs, right? We all love, most people, I
Most
believe,
people,
love dogs and cats because
yes.
cats can also transmit the virus as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important that we try to engage our communities and try to find a way, whether through clubs, youth clubs, we could use religious centers like churches and mosques, or even just try to see how to engage people with vets, people, sociologists, anthropologists, religious leaders. Just bring everyone using one health approach, and of course the human-centered design to ask them of solutions that we could do together. This is a huge problem. I mean, once someone has rabies, a human being, even a dog, they are going to be like, for dogs we euthanize them, so we kill them humanely because they're going to go through a lot of suffering, and they'll also beat other dogs or beat other people who could become infected with the rabies virus.
Is there a cure for?
So there is,
rabies?
like, if someone is bitten by rabies, rabies is 100% vaccine preventable. But then if a dog suspected, whether it's been a vaccinated dog or not, beats a human being that has whether has been given the vaccine, like for hunters or veterinary doctors like myself who are continuously exposed to dogs, right, and animals, who should ideally take the vaccine, right? That should not be optional for you. So they could take the post-exposure prophylaxis. It's actually the same vaccine for pre-exposure, for prevention, right? It's the same vaccine for the post-exposure when you've been bitten by a dog, whether it's confirmed or not. It's the same, but the number of doses are different. So prevention is better than cure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I wish like the government could also make these vaccines available, or we could actually manufacture them back home. But unfortunately, not.
We're just not there yet.
Yeah, so we are manufacturing like rabies vaccines at the National Veterinary Research Institute for animals. I'm not too sure of cats, but yeah, dogs. But most of the vaccines are still imported, unfortunately. Like the ones we use, right? If I'm going to be looking at the end user stage, still very much imported. So, but it's 100% vaccine preventable, like I said. But unfortunately, there are people who have had scratches or bites by dogs or cats, and 9 months later they come down with rabies.
So it's
It can
delayed.
be that slow. And the thing is, once the bite is closer, because it's a central nervous system, I don't want to go into the whole but like if someone is beaten here, it might take a while, right? Because it's going to go to the nerves, right, for it to develop. So it can be like that case where you have 9 months, right?
Wow.
If they are beaten in
That's
their
a
ankle.
long time.
But then if someone is beaten here, it's closer to the brain. Or if they are beaten on the neck, it's closer, and then the symptoms can manifest faster if the person is not giving a post-exposure prophylaxis. So it's 100% preventable. Please, there are a lot of resources on the WHO's website. We also have the Global Alliance for Rabies Control. There are so many resources there that could help communities, volunteers, that could also help people, individuals, to better prepare, prevent themselves. So if you have been bitten by either a dog or a cat, it's important to get these vaccines. I mean, prevention is better than cure. What's the worth of your life? Compared to buying the vaccines. I know they're expensive, especially like back home, because we don't manufacture them. The last time I know it was to take a dose was probably about, when I took it was like 5,000. So I spent 15,000, 3 doses over the space of like, probably 3 weeks. But I think if you're taking the World Health Organization has reduced it from 5 to 4 doses. There's also a way they try to, but sometimes like the one I used to prescribe, then I still have the prescription was like for 5 doses, but you could do 4, right? And I really don't know the cost right now, but I'm sure it's going to be much more expensive than 5,000 naira back in Nigeria. And most times you don't also find them in government hospitals or even private hospitals. It's usually found in very big pharmacies. So accessibility is an issue. So I feel it's important, especially in endemic areas, for people to come together, use One Health, use Ubuntu, come together and see how we can control stray dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
See how we can vaccinate stray dogs.
Mm-hmm.
See how we can also prevent our hunters, let them take these vaccines, veterinary doctors, people that work in the zoo, wildlife, forest areas. And if people have been exposed, how they can quickly get help. The veterinary and the human health system working closely together, and our colleagues from Ministry of Environment also ensuring that we have our dog population, it's really controlled. Because what is done, for example, in one of the universities, University of Sokoto, shout out to you guys, Udus, they usually they have a lot of cats.
Okay.
I know cats too can also transmit
Some
rabies.
diseases.
Yes, some
rabies.
diseases and rabies. We're talking about rabies. So they catch, they set traps. It's part of it's a way of practice for them, but they catch them and then they neuter them.
Okay.
So they spay them,
Yeah.
basically so that they don't keep, rats. I say rats, cats.
They'll keep
easily
populating a large
so
number.
they try to control them as much as possible. They have a very huge cat population, and they don't keep a lot of dogs like other parts. But cats, yes, they do that, and it's something we could do for dogs as well.
Okay.
Yes.
I love your passion when it comes to like animals in Nigeria. I feel like this is one of the first. You're one of the first people that I've heard really trying to do work in that area. Really try to think about the ecosystem. It's not just humans living, and of course, traffic is an issue. We always hear about traffic. We always hear about electricity issues. We hear about so many different things. And I think this is such a different take, but it's still a very important take. And how do we still make sure that people have a better quality of life if they can, just maybe learn how to manage or just have other programs that can help everybody.
Yes.
So when you go back home after this fellowship, I know you said you want to continue working on the paper.
Yes, the launch of my strategic plan.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that within the next 1 to 3 months, I will be able to say this has been launched.
Yes. And so the strategic plan is that 5 years.
It's for 5 years.
And
2029.
2029, reducing the number of people who are affected,
that are dying. Infected people who are dying from Lassa fever.
Okay.
To less than a single digit, less than 10%.
Yes. Okay.
Because now it's under 20, and it's going to take a lot to bring it down to that figure. So we don't want anybody to die from it, but right now we just need to be
the
realistic.
First goal. Yes.
So a single digit, so less than 10%.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's amazing.
Thank you so much.
For sure. How can people get in contact? I know you gave a few resources, but are there other things that people who may be interested in something like this that haven't necessarily thought about? How can they contact you and stay abreast of what you're doing?
Yes, so I think the easiest way would be to reach me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yes. So
I'll include that.
Yes, please. So I think LinkedIn, I have other, but I think LinkedIn.
LinkedIn,
much better, to connect with me, and then from there we could take it to email or WhatsApp or whichever channel works best for you. Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm excited about your success and everything that you're gonna do. I'm excited.
Thank you.
I know the strategic plan is gonna work, or just move in an amazing step and direction.
Yes.
I hope this fellowship continues to show you different things and just provide different experiences for you in your last few weeks. Thank you for coming on the pod, Yetunde.
Thank you so much. So guys, please, the final word, just remember, it's all connected. Yes. When we protect one, we protect all.
Yeah.
It's all connected. When we protect humans, animals, or the environment, we are protecting all. So it's not just enough to have just one or two. We need to do all.
I love it. Thank you. Well, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode of YPAC. Make sure to stay around for the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all the things. There's going to be a lot more great conversations happening. You do not want to miss it. So, see you next time.
Bye. Subscribe.
Subscribe.